guys? Welcome back to another amazing show of Angels and Outlaws with your host, Junior, and Christina's right here next to me. Thanks to the Global Enlightenment Radio Network, and we'd like to introduce our special guest, metal band, Roses Unread. How you guys doing today?
Hey, how's it going?
Been being lazy all day, basically.
Yeah.
I could imagine. I mean, how's the virus just affecting you guys out there?
We had a few shows that got canceled back in April, obviously. And we just kind of we suspended practice. We had to cancel the shows, obviously. We had a music video shoot planned, and we pushed that back to last weekend, so we got that finished at least. But we're trying to book August, September, October shows right now. We've got promoters. We got promoters reaching out to us, wanting us to hop back on. So I guess we'll go ahead and start booking again. And if they still won't let us do it, then oh well. But you just kind of roll with it, I guess.
I mean, it's a good thing I probably brought you on now because the whole world's gonna know who you are.
Oh wow,
Heck yeah.
nice.
Yeah, we stream over practically all over the US. We stream on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Steam. We're on Korean radio right now. So basically, they're listening to you on AM radio in Korea.
Wow.
So everybody's gonna know.
They're gonna have to come on with an accent, man.
They're gonna be like, huh? What did they say?
I don't know. You'd be surprised. Some of them even pop up in our messenger feed, and they tell us, "Hey, you guys are cool. Love the show or whatever."
Right on. I like Korean people, man. I did Taekwondo for years back in the day, and there's out here there's a few Japanese restaurants that are ran by Korean people, and they're all super cool. So
it's just funny how, like, if you learn their language, you walk in there and you're like, talk to them like them, and they're like, where's that other guy at talking?
Yeah.
So, I mean, y'all ever booked anything down here in Texas lately?
We did a
Not
run
lately,
through Texas
yeah,
a while back. We did San Marcos, Dallas, Austin, Houston. I haven't been back in a little while. We've got a friend that moved down around Dallas. He's from Memphis, and he actually called us like right before all this stuff went down. And he's like, "Man, I got to get you guys back in Dallas, and maybe do a run around the area, because I love Texas, man. Like I would go back and just drive through Texas whether we had shows or not. It's just I love it down there. I've been 2 or 3 times, but especially like the Dallas area, and Austin was pretty cool, and Houston. San Marcos was really cool, surprisingly. Like I didn't even know anything about San Marcos, and
what was the other small town we played?
We played in Commerce, Texas, which
like
was not
nothing there.
I don't even know why they booked us there.
There was like a pool table in the room. It was like as big as what? Like
it's like a little
50 people there.
Yeah.
There's like a little VFW place, and it was like a Monday night show.
Like 2 people there.
Yeah. There was like the people that worked there and a few other people, and they ordered us pizza.
I mean, if you guys ever come down, y'all decide to book a show in San Antonio. I mean, we only have a few metal venues. We have the Aztec Theater. They're ones that they book. I mean, people like, Andy Black, so forth and so forth.
Yeah.
We have Alamo City Music Hall, and those guys, they do King Diamond and, Rat and all those other guys. Yeah. And then we have the Rock Box. And what used to be the White Rabbit back in the days, now the Paper Tiger. But the White Rabbit used to venue bands like Here Comes the Horizon, Bullet for My Valentine, MCR, those kind of bands.
Yeah.
So, but the Rock Box is where you really probably want to look into, because I mean, Bad Wolves plays there, Asking Alexandria. So, I mean, it's more the perfect scene. Besides, if you guys come down, send me a message. I'll be the first one in line.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll I like Texas, man. It's almost like, and the people in Texas think that like Texas is its own country.
Actually, if you do your history right, Texas is the only state within the 50 states that can annex itself from the United States.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And like and people in Texas will tell you that, and like they're proud of it, but there's a cool culture down there. The people are, they're real proud of their heritage. And everybody, it's cool. I just love Texas. I love the culture. I love, it's kind of weird because what I did notice is like you'll drive in Texas and you'll get out of the city, and I don't know if it's like this everywhere, but wherever we went, you drive through the big city, and then you get out of the city and it's like nothing.
Yeah.
For 2 or 3 hours. And just nothing, just like a road and a couple of gas stations for 2 or 3 hours, and then you get to another big city. Yeah, and
it's usually like San Antonio to Houston, or like when you guys are probably going through San Marcos, y'all are coming through Austin.
Yep.
And it's like Austin, big city, and then farm country.
Yeah.
And then it's San Marcos.
Yeah, just like flatland.
Yep.
Yeah. And that was weird. Like you don't really see that much in I guess you kind of do in Tennessee.
Food.
Yeah.
I miss the food the most. That,
man, was it the barbecue food or the?
You had it In and Out.
I don't know. Was it the barbecue food or did you go to the Mexican food?
Like the Mexican. What was that place called?
We ate some Mexican food down there.
There was pigeons everywhere around us. I can't remember what it was though.
It was some kind of taco place in Austin.
It's kind of like a bar. You go around and like.
I don't remember the name
of it. Though. It was really good.
Really cool city to go to. I mean, right now not so much, but
right.
This is over. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, we're just ready to play again.
Our friend Gary, he's a really, really good drummer, and he's one of these guys where he plays in like 4 or 5 different bands at the same time. And he's like, dude, we're going to get you guys back down here. The venue will set you up with hotel rooms and pay you good and feed you good and everything. I'm like, dude, I'm all about it, man. So,
yeah.
Oh yeah, when we get back to the area, we'll hit you guys up definitely.
See if we can get something that way. Yeah. If they're going,
even if it's in San Marcos, I don't care driving.
Somewhere in the vicinity.
San Marcos from where we live is probably about an hour and a half drive.
That's not
bad. That's like kind of like Nashville for us.
Yeah.
About an hour and a half ish.
And again, the speed limit here is like 80, 85. Yeah. So that hour and a half, you make it in like 30.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. That was crazy. Not used to that.
Like Allison and I, we have our rehearsal space and it's in between our drummer and our bassist, and they're like an hour and a half in either direction.
Our drummer's on the way. He might like pop in at any minute.
Yeah.
So.
Oh,
but we really don't want that to happen.
the more the merrier.
But yeah, they're about an hour and a half, I guess, a piece from.
Yeah, but they're like different, either different directions. One's west and one's east.
But they're both in Mississippi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Weird how that works out, but.
It works. Yeah, I mean it's.
So, the origin behind the band. How'd that come about? The name, everything.
We were called something else back in 2006, and I renamed the band in 2007 as Roses Unread because we had a lot of member changes, and we've had more member changes too since we changed the name. But I was playing with some guys, and a lot of them left and went their separate ways. He ended up joining. And he was in another band that we played with a long time ago called Vision. And they kind of went their separate ways, and he joined with me, and we kind of created it as it went.
Yeah.
I mean, we've lasted the longest in it. It's like, I guess formed it, created it, and he's like my, right.
The right hand man.
Yeah, the right hand man. Thank you.
Yeah, for better or for worse.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we've been at it a while.
So 2007, yeah, it's when it's crazy to think it's been that long.
And I'm gonna be completely honest. I've never heard of Roses Unread until I actually followed this guy on Facebook named Jared Dines.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw one of his. He's like, this is like the top 10 sickest female fronted metal bands. He's like, yes, I did say female fronted.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I knew females sang, in bands. I mean, I knew like Evanescence, Flyleaf, and I really didn't know until I came across you guys, and I was like, you know what, this song is really catchy, and it's just, I absolutely just fell in love with the song Rapture.
Yeah.
Because it can relate to a lot of other things. And then I was like, I'm going to jump on YouTube and I'm going to check out the rest of their videos. Now, the other one that caught my eye was Vultures.
Yeah.
That was
a good one.
1 CD ago. Yeah. We released Vultures right before we did Rapture, like a year.
Well, yeah, Vultures and After All was on the Vultures EP from 2017. And that just kind of goes to show you that, we've been at this since 2007, 2008, and just grinding away. And then it just so happens that Jared Dines who's one of the biggest YouTubers as far as music and guitar and stuff like that goes. Just so happens Jared Dines picks us up and finds us somehow and picks us up.
Don't know how.
Yeah, and puts us in one of his videos, and then all this whole we're being shared to this whole new audience. So it just takes it just shows you, like, sometimes for a lot of people, you hear of like the overnight success stories, and I'm not saying that we're huge by any means, but for us, it's definitely not an overnight success. Like, it's a grind. It took years and years and years. Of just of trying to, perfect our craft, and we still haven't perfected it by any means. But yeah, so that just kind of goes to show you if you love something, you just kind of have to stick with it for the long haul, and then you get small wins every now and then. Like, funny story about that Jared Dines video. We played a show the night before, and it was, dude, like, we were playing with this band Saving Abel, which you guys have probably heard of. They're
the ones that sang that Lollipop remix.
That was Freeman Hanley.
That's Freeman Hanley.
Saving Abel did the Addicted song.
There it is. There. I know there's
they
like
had a lot of other ones too, but that was like the one that got them big.
Yeah, they put them up there. Yeah.
Write a song about sex, and you like blow up.
Anyway, I lost my train of thought. We played, this was back in, I guess, November, maybe. We played this show in Mississippi and opening up for Saving Abel, and it started raining like the day before, and the
tornado weather.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Bad tornado weather.
And the show isn't outside. It's like an all day thing. And it's like us and another band from our area were like, it was us. And then we were like not the co-headliners, but like third from the end, but it was like bands all day. So we were, towards the end, and, the people that booked the show had sent us pictures of the stage they were renting and the PA system, and it was just like this giant outside stage, and it looked awesome, and they were paying us good and everything, and we were like, okay, cool, well, Saving Abel's awesome, we know those guys, and we get down there and it's still raining, and we go check this place out, and it's just a piece of shit. Like, like the stage is not at all what the picture they sent us. The PA system is not what they sent us. Like,
we got catfish.
We're not like, the stage isn't really even covered. Like, the stage is only halfway covered, and there's nowhere to put our gear, and we were like, dude, we were about to like not even play this show, and then we started having people like show up to see us, and we're like, well, we're already here, so we play this show. And just Anyway, it was not a good experience at all.
Like the mud and rain, the wet was all over the equipment.
Yeah.
Oh,
So the next
Our
day,
drummer was not happy. It was bad.
the next day, Rocky, the drummer, and I, we get out and we take all the gear out and we're cleaning off the road case because all our gear's in really nice road cases, but you know, we had dirt and sand and stuff in the wheels
I
of
think
the
I
road
kind of
cases.
saw one of the videos on Instagram. Somebody was popping out of it. I don't know who it was.
Yeah. Oh, that was Allison. Yeah. So
She's
that,
like,
the
she's
video
like, I can't wait to get back on the road and you pop out of the road case.
Well,
He made me do that.
We were
But
outside.
He kept me in there for a minute. I didn't like it.
We were outside all day, and cleaning dirt out of the wheels of our road cases so they wouldn't rust or whatever. And then we started having people message us saying, "Hey, you guys are in the new Jared Dines video."
I was like, what?
So that was a pleasant, extremely pleasant surprise after
the night before.
after a show that was just awful, and I never want to relive again.
And like the whole way home, we were dodging like trees, like on the road.
Yeah,
down.
like
it was that bad.
A tornado had come through like 30
Awful.
minutes away.
Trees down for miles, and we just played in that.
Yeah,
we had those here too, and we just usually just sit outside and let there goes a tree.
Yeah.
Oh, it was.
No
way.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, if it wasn't for Jared Dines' video, I would have never known who you guys are because I like listening to metal. I mean, I like anything from old scene music all the way to, I mean, like shock rock, Slipknot, King Diamond. Anyway, back from the scene eras, I'm talking, Black Parade days.
Yeah.
All the way up to listening to bands like, I Prevail and I usually watch Jared Dines videos because, I mean, he's funny as shit.
Yeah.
And he's like, these are like the 15 most best female front metal bands that are so underground and didn't even know they exist. I was like, okay, I'm going to check this out. So
yeah, there were some bands on that video.
I saw you guys. I saw Celestial. Irony of Fate. I was like, whoa.
Did you see all the comments about Ginger? Like everybody was like, "Where's Ginger? Where's Ginger?" And we're just thinking, hold on, it's not underground. Like, and everybody just gets so mad about it, and they're like, Ginger. So that's like the ongoing little joke.
And he says in the video that the bands that he's listing in the video are bands that are unsigned and independent. And Ginger's signed, and they're like doing big tours and stuff. Anyway, people are stupid. They don't listen, and
yeah, they don't pay attention. I mean, when he said, totally underground, you don't even know about them, I was like, okay, these guys have no record label yet. They're doing everything on their own.
Yeah, we had 2 record label offers last year from smaller labels, and it's weird because we had like offers throughout the years, and they didn't really work in our favor. So and we were doing fine on our own. We had a couple of better ones last year, and again, it was one of those things like they really couldn't do a whole lot for us
that we weren't already doing, basically.
Yeah, so and not to put ourselves on a high horse or anything, but like last year after we released that EP, it definitely kind of opened some more doors for us, and we started seeing a lot more people find out about us and start paying attention to us. So that was
honestly down here where we live in, I think everybody listened to that EP. My whole job listened to it because I've done cranking up on the PA system at my job. They're like, who's that? I was like, that's a band that I just learned about, Roses in Red. I was like, they kick ass. So you're gonna listen to it whether you like it or not.
Yeah, just like embed it in their brain, make them like it.
That's how it happens, man. It just people you and you can't pay money to have people like your music. I mean, you can pay money to get it out there more than you already are, but that's really what it takes is people.
The drummers here.
Yeah, people listening to
God
it.
help us all.
Everybody loves the drummer in certain bands. Everybody has that one.
Oh, we love him, but we got to give him hell at the same time.
Oh, hell.
Did you bring me a Red Bull? Did you bring me that?
You
You didn't bring me a Red Bull?
What? What's wrong with you?
Selfish.
Man, Rocky, how could you?
What am I doing here?
I don't know. You
Here.
sit on the couch.
Okay.
Oh, let's get the couch.
Get up for a second.
John said he had to get up for a second. You can't see your head. You only see your body.
Well, that's probably
It's
good
okay. He's got the Red Bull. He's marketing.
No. Sit on the floor.
He's getting the endorsements. What's up,
I'm not
man?
saying, I'm not saying that it's refreshing, but it
So messed up.
Oh,
So messed up.
well, what's up, man? Welcome to the show.
hi.
So this is like the first time that anybody on this network has ever had a metal band, period. So you guys are like cracking the crown right now.
So you've never had any other band before?
Nobody on this network has had one band. You guys are the first.
Wow.
So round of
There's
applause.
Jared Dines, by the way.
Oh, awesome.
Like he.
Yeah,
he-
honestly, that's how I found out about you guys because of Jared Dines' videos. And honestly, like I told them, the Rapture EP is like my absolute favorite. That song.
Thank you so much. And you know what? We'll never be able to repay Jared Dines for the publicity
I
we
know.
got off of that.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to email that little fucker and tell him, hey, you know what? I need to thank you because I found out some really cool bands I didn't know about.
Yeah, we
couldn't
did too.
believe it.
Yeah, like it's funny how social media works these days because we literally take somebody like Jared Dines and, we get, he chooses us. And like I said, we had no clue about this. Like literally we were outside working on something and somebody's like, hey, did you guys know you're.
Yeah, they were just saying that you guys were at a show that was shit. I mean,
Yeah.
you were mad. Everybody
Yeah.
else was mad. And then they're like, hey, do y'all know y'all are on the Jared Dines video? Like, huh?
Yeah. I mean, it was really cool. So, I mean, like I said, that just some of the doorways that opened up for us has been really cool and awesome. So,
like I was telling him, I mean, I didn't know about you guys. I didn't know nothing about Irony of Fate, Celestial, Ghost. I didn't know nothing. I mean, female fronted bands for me, I'm so old school. I grew up in the emo scene era. I mean, I grew up with bands like Evanescence and Flyleaf.
oh, those are great bands, though. I mean, that was, some of my favorite bands back in that's like early to mid 2000s.
Exactly, the early scene eras, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
That's where you wanted to shop at Hot Topic and Black Flag.
Hey, what's funny is I tell people like about around 2005, 2006 was like when I stopped listening to like almost current stuff. I mean, there's been a few bands since then that have caught my attention that have come to be that have grown to become some of my favorite bands. But I mean, back in those, like the late 90s through the mid 2000s, like every week you were discovering a new band and you loved them and you fell in love with it. And now it's like, you don't hear that many bands or artists that capture your attention like you did back then.
And the only reason why they do probably capture your attention is probably because you're getting something out of it. They're giving away something, you're going to get free tickets for you and 5 of your friends to come to our show, but yet you got to pay for all your hotel and crap. But you're getting free 5 tickets. I mean,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Something of that nature. And also, I one of my big things I think is that's been the real problem too is, we got into where we labeled and classified everything. It was no longer metal. It become, well, there's metal, there's heavy metal, there's death metal, there's doom metal, there's new sludge metal, there's new metal, there's hardcore, post-hardcore.
Yeah, now you have metalcore and deathcore, and I was like, what happened to what we had back in the 80s? Growing up in the 80s, you had thrash, heavy, arena, and glamour. That was it.
Yeah,
4 classes of metal,
and they were not mutually exclusive to each other either.
No.
Like you had some bands that could classify as like trash and glam at the same time. You know, it's just crazy. Like we got into all these different names, and you know that put like a title on you. You know, people would be like, well, if you're not hardcore, I don't want to listen to your music. I was like, what kind of attitude is that to have?
You know what? And a lot of bands probably went through that because, I mean, growing up, my dad would always listen to bands that would always come out of whiskey because, I mean, he was always traveling to California because he was a truck driver. So he would always stop at the whiskey. And hell, that's when he would see, you know, bands like Motley Crue, Metallica, Bon Jovi, Rat, you know, and now you can't even do that. Now we have, I mean, there's so many different venues, and then you have some bands that have such a hardcore name, but then when you go see them, they're trash.
Yeah. Oh, you know, pop music has become such a, you know, thing. I don't even know how to word it, but you know, now such an essential part of even making music. Like, you know, back in the 80s and the 90s and even into the early 2000s, you wrote music, and if it was good music, it was good music, and if it wasn't, it wasn't. But you know, now, like, before you ever set out to write a song, you know, you usually have to go, well, we have to make sure it's radio friendly so that the radio will play it to make sure, you know, we get the
correct. It's got to be so PC.
Yeah, and you know, back in the 80s when Metallica was doing their thing, they could have cared less if radio played their music.
Yeah, because everybody was already buying their vinyl records. Everybody had the T-shirts. Everybody had the
radio had to adapt to Metallica, not Metallica adapt to radio.
Yeah. 6-minute song.
Yeah, so you know, and to me that was a trait of a good band. You know, is when radio can't deny you exist and they have to play you in order to stay relevant. Well, that you did something right. But if your first thought is that I need to make sure we can play my song on the radio, well, you've almost failed before you ever started. Because as long as you have to fit it into a mold, you never fully get to see that idea through. You know, and I mean, you can even go back to like Leonard Skinner. You know, Freebird's like a 19-minute long song.
But that's the most loving song Leonard has ever come up with that everybody absolutely does besides, you know, Sweet Home
Alabama or something. But my point is that, you know, you wrote a 19-minute long song because you didn't care. If the song took you 19 minutes to get it out, then that's just what it took. And you loved the song for it. Now, if you walked into a record label and said, hey, I'm going to play you something, and 19 minutes later, you're like, that's just one song. You know, like they would boot you out the door and said, you know, or they would have told you, hey, we just need the first 3 minutes and 20 seconds of that and we'll be good.
The new Selena Gomez video I saw is like 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
Oh, yeah. Radio airplay is 3 minutes, 20 seconds. That you can go a little over that or go a little under that, but any too much more than that or too less of that, they don't consider that to be the right single time length.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I told, you know, the rest of your band right now, you're getting so much free publicity right now, man. It's ridiculous. We're streaming all around the world right now, so everybody's knowing who you are for sure.
Well, that's amazing, and we appreciate that a lot.
Hey, no problem. You know, a lot of little people look out for us. We look out for the little people. So, I mean, it's you do a good thing and you get a good thing out of it.
Well, man, you got to take care of each other because who else is going to do it?
Pretty much. I mean, especially right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah. No, I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, look at Freddie Mercury. Look how long it took him to write Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, had they had the mindset back in the 70s, the 60s, the 70s, and 80s that we have now, all of the great albums and songs wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, in fact, you know, you can even dig into Queen's history, and their record label back then didn't want to put out Bohemian Rhapsody. They're like, nobody wants an 8-minute long, you know, 4 different genre song like on the radio. Nobody wants it. Well, they were wrong. You know, people, you know, that to this day, Bohemian Rhapsody is one of the most iconic songs ever written.
And you know, I also got to give it up to, I don't know if you've ever heard of them. They're a band called Parasite.
Parasite.
Yeah, they kind of did a metal cover of Bohemian Rhapsody, except they did it in 14 different styles. The lead singer actually impersonated, you know, people like Kurt Cobain and, you know, Pearl Jam.
You know, I'm looking that up as soon as we're done with this. Because I love watching that stuff. Like, there's the guy that does the 10-second songs who does a lot of stuff like that.
Oh, he's the one that looks like Kirk Hammett.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. What, I can't think of his name, but I know he has like long curly hair.
Yeah, a lot of people mistake him for Kirk Hammett. I was like, that's not Kirk. Kirk's old.
Yeah. Kirk is old.
That dude is good though.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're going to go ahead and take our first break, guys. And then, I mean, you guys want to get some refreshments or something. And then, you know, we come back and then do the second segment of our show. And
okay,
we're all good. So, all right, guys, we'll be back with more of our show on Angels and Outlaws with metal band Roses Unread on the Global Enlightenment Radio Network.
and welcome back to Angels and Outlaws.
And we are back, guys, and the rest of the band is coming through. But Odin, if you can, please send the link to Allison. That way she can blast it.
Yeah, I'm gonna share. I meant to get that earlier. It slipped my mind.
Oh, it's okay, guys. So
you want me to send it to Allison?
Yeah.
Okay, Allison, send me her thing on Facebook real quick, and I can send it to her. Or is she in my friends list already?
No, she's not.
Okay.
I didn't know that was. I was looking. I thought we were.
No, actually, I emailed John because I actually, I looked you guys up on Instagram. So
well, I can send it to Christina real quick, because she could pass it around.
You could, yeah.
Yeah,
well, you have my number. You could just pass it to me, and I'll send it to them. I got John's number. Personal number.
Yeah, send it so we can.
Yeah. That's how we do it. Hold on.
That's how we do it.
Look. I pop a beer for that.
Is that the lager?
Oh, yeah. It's Yuengling.
Yeah, that's Yuengling. I can see the can.
Oh, yeah. Look. I'm trying to be healthy. Hey, I got a question for you. I know I've seen your face before. You have been in another band, haven't you?
Me?
Yes.
Yep.
What other band?
A band called Persevere.
That's it.
Oh, shit. Now he's going to go total fanboy. Now, look,
God.
The gods from Valhalla have looked upon the drummer.
A double drink.
Now they're going to talk. Yeah, for some reason, our producer hails from Asgard. His name's Odin.
And I am here, and I must say I put my blessing upon this show, and I have a drummer that I know. So guess what, people? Wake it up. Listen to these people. Get some knowledge. And this drummer is a bad hush your mouth. All right, I'm back to the show, guys. I can't.
There's only, like I said, there's only a handful of bands that I like, the whole band, not just bits and pieces here. And, you guys are like one where I just take the whole package. I mean, it can't be complete.
I know we need Jed.
Yeah, our bassist, he's at home this weekend. But it
could have just sent him the link, and he would have just signed on from his phone.
Yeah, I wish I would have thought of that. He would have joined up.
I didn't.
Well, I think he still can.
Yeah. Yeah,
he's gonna be mad.
The last interview we did, I didn't even think about that. The last interview we did, we had all four of us, but we had like
something else.
We had like 4 different screens on Zoom.
Oh, y'all were probably using.
Yeah, it was kind of
another one though.
It was Zoom. It was kind of a mess.
It was fun,
we were just like talking over each other and.
That's like what we
always do anyway.
That sounds like Skype. Skype. That kind of what happens with Skype. You end up talking over everybody. With Zoom, I mean. It automatically, I talk, it shuts everybody else up. So like when you guys talk, it shuts me up. So that's actually the cool thing about Zoom.
Yeah, I didn't know it did that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the cool thing about Zoom. That's why we use it. Plus, I mean, Skype's kind of a pain in the ass because there's like, it's a big drag. I can be like moving my mouth and then like 10 seconds later you'll hear
me. I like Zoom a lot better.
So I mean, that's why we use it, and that's why everybody that watches our network loves it. So.
I saw a conspiracy theory.
Did you get the link? Did you send the link?
I'll just go ahead and.
I found the.
Talk about the conspiracy theory where this whole thing was set up by Zoom.
Yeah, because
everybody's
using Zoom now because everybody's at home and they're like, oh, Zoom did this.
Yeah.
Is it Zoom Microsoft or?
Hold on, I got a question for all of y'all. Is it kind of funny that even when you go and you drive down the street and you look at the churches and they now say, hey, we're now live on Zoom?
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of, who was it? Ron White used to have that joke where he was talking about, when it's like 4:00 in the morning and you're sitting and you're watching all the infomercial.
Oh yeah, you're sitting in a beanbag chair naked eating Cheetos.
He's like, yes, sir. About me. And then it's like, you want to send us money? It's like, nope, I thought you were talking about me, but it wasn't me.
It's like, Lowe's almost had me there. Yeah, Ron White's something else, man. I grew up watching that guy along with Larry and all of them. That's the cool thing.
Well, through this whole, through this whole, whether you want to call it a pandemic, an epidemic, a
Oh,
stay
no. This is not a pandemic nor an epidemic or any kind of demic. This is a conspiracy theory.
Well, see,
Yeah,
here
we go.
No, I just, I'm not going to dive deep into that. I just wanted to say one of the things that I did notice that I've thought was funny since day one is it was like social distance yourself, stay at home. Don't go out to the parks where you're like in acres and acres and acres of people don't have to be next to each other. And also, they're like, you can go in Walmart and you go in there with like 400 people and catch something. That's totally fine.
Oh, that's Walmart. Walmart here where I live at, it's ridiculously. They only let like maybe a handful of they kind of monitor how many people go in and how many people come out, but if it gets to a certain limit, they do not let nobody else in. You're waiting.
I haven't seen that with ours.
Well, hold on now. What you need to do is, Junior, you should tell them that the COVID-19 virus has now become an STD. So
yeah, that's the new conspiracy. Now it's sexually transmitted before you have to cough on somebody.
Oh.
So I guess our drummer is out of business.
Now you can't even go to the bar. Say you're a single guy, you go to the bar, you hook up, and now you gotta be. You know what? I wonder if she's got COVID-19.
Yeah. I can see it now.
I wonder.
You get drunk at the bar one time, and now you get COVID.
Hey, hold on. I wonder if it burns.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know. No.
Let's not find out.
No, this is why I stay my merrily happy ass at home.
Okay, Junior. Don't get slapped in the head, all right?
But
okay.
You want to know I think the side effects that through all of this that I think I've paid attention to is that, I'm sure right now, like depression and anxiety, I'm sure all that stuff's at an all-time high right now.
Yeah.
It is.
I've seen, you remember that second or third week of lockdown, you just get on Facebook and everybody was losing their mind.
Yeah.
I saw like people that I have known for years that are normally cool and calm and collected people were on Facebook talking about, I'm so mad and I'm like, I can't do it, and just like going off, and I'm like,
what pissed everybody off the first time was, President Trump's like, all right, we're gonna stay home. Okay, cool. Then there was the people that still had to work. Okay, you're considered essential. Oh, thank God. Then the toilet paper pandemic, then the hand sanitizer, then the canned foods, and now there's a meat shortage. Now we got to worry about goddamn murder hornets. What's next? Land sharks?
Hold on. I have a new one for everybody.
Uh-oh.
It's like the Tracker Jackers from the Hunger Games.
I have a new one for you.
I blame Carol Baskin for this.
You ready, everybody? You ready? The new epidemic then craze that's going to go across the American public is we are now going to be short of sexual supplies because this pandemic has given us an STD called COVID-19.5. No, honey, you came home. Oh man, honey came home and she could not do anything wrong because she got COVID-19.5.
That's my producer, ladies and gentlemen. He lines up everything around here sometimes too. So, but yeah, I mean that's what it was. So, like Tiger King said, I double blame Carol Baskin. It's not her fault.
And I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but 19.5 has no vaccination yet. We are a year in development if they can actually find the pathogen. Sorry.
So I guess, the old saying, do you wear a raincoat in the shower is going to go right out the door.
Yeah, no joke.
It is absorbed into the prophylactic. I use that big word. I can't believe it.
That's crazy. So, yeah. So I mean, what are some of your guys' like memorable moments being on tour together? You know, what city, venue?
Well, you know, we haven't really had like we've done. I've been a member of the band for close to 2 years now, but almost the first probably 8 or 9 months I was in the band, they were not playing. They were in the middle of writing and recording. So my first show with the band wasn't until like July of 19. So, you know, we haven't, you know, just right when we were getting ready to get up and running, kind of, you know, you hit Christmas time, and you know everybody knows the music industry kind of slows down like after Thanksgiving and doesn't really pick up till back after New Year's. And then, you know, so we were getting ready to really pick it up again, and then all this happened. So, you know, we've got some fun stories, but haven't really been out long enough to have the crazy stories yet.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what is the craziest thing that's happened since you've been.
I can't.
Besides the Mudfest show where we missed a tornado.
Yeah, that's been like the only really wild thing that's happened.
I do thought there was something else, but.
Oh, don't tell me he threw up in the bus.
No.
No.
The funny thing is, I have to tell them all the crazy stories for me being in Persevere most of the time, just because I was in that band for like a decade. So, but us, I'm trying to think of some. I knew I threw a fit at Mudfest. Like I acted like just the biggest diva in the world and threw a fit on that deal.
Dude, I thought somebody was gonna get killed at that show because Rocky was like, we were outside getting our shit rained on, and the band on stage had gone over their set time, and it was like the band right before us. They had gone over our set time, and granted, they're like friends of ours, but they had gone over their set time. Our shit was getting rained on, and I finally like walked on stage after one of their songs, and he was just like talking to the crowd. And I'm like, dude, you need to hurry up right now. I'm gonna come and kick all your crap.
With me, it was like that episode from South Park where it's like, if you do any of these things, you're not gonna have a good time. And I was just sitting there like, oh, just everything combined to make this awful is just.
But the Jared Dines thing happened the next day.
Yeah, the Jared Dines thing happened the next day.
You know, but
I will tell you one thing. The very first show, or no, it was the second show that we went to. So we were in the band van headed there, and the AC started to go out in it.
Oh, son of a bitch!
It was bad.
And this is like middle of summertime, like July and August. And you know, in here that's awful. Like that's just awful. You don't want to be hot. And so like I'm sitting there, and this isn't like almost there. This is like 10 minutes out the door, and the AC starts acting up. And I'm like, guys, you're gonna have to get this fixed. I don't care what you got to do, but this is gonna have to get fixed. I was like, because where there is no AC, there is no Rocky. Because I don't travel in a vehicle without it. Look, I could have the biggest piece of junk car. I could literally have an '87 Honda Civic outside. I guarantee you the air conditioner will blow as cold as you want it to in that car. Like that, if nothing else works in that car, the air
AC is gonna work.
Well, I mean, you could have done what some Texas people do: just buy the power inverter and throw an AC unit in the window.
We had a friend of a band that we're really good friends with, who now are actually doing really well and they're super successful at the moment. One of their first trailers that they had a huge, like, overkill trailer for a band. I mean, this was like one of these like 16-foot long, 6-foot tall cargo trailers. It was massive. Like their gear only took up like a quarter of the trailer. So they ended up building like a wall in there, and they made themselves like a dressing room in it and put one of those like window units in the trailer.
That's what
So when they would get to shows and there was no green room, they had an air conditioned place to go like change in and out of their band clothes. I always thought that was really
Y'all
cool.
make me a dressing room?
Yeah,
not in our trailer.
We can get the big one.
No.
I can just like go in the little side, man.
Yeah. But
Now who's being the
yeah,
dealer?
but that was really the only, like, with the AC and the Mud Fest, everything else has been pretty smooth. Like, we haven't really run into any crazy stuff or any stuff like that.
Man, we've all been playing music for so long, like we can spot crazy stuff about to happen from a mile away.
Oh yeah,
so
and
we
run
just
far
we just
away
know
from it.
we know not to even get.
You know, when I
involved.
was younger, like, you wanted all that stuff to happen so you could tell the stories. Now that I'm older, I'm like, God, this just
Don't
seems
let that happen.
like this just seems like a police report I'm gonna have to fill out. And you know, they're gonna want to know where I was between 7 and 8, and I don't have a good answer for it. You know.
I'm not really good when it comes up to lying like that. Cops gonna come out. Where were you between? Shit. Hold on.
See, they don't like when I talk to people because I've always been a great business guy, but I also have like zero tolerance for bullshit.
Amen.
And so like, if you start in on me with something, you're gonna get the asshole response to it. And I'm that kind of guy, like, where a cop walks up and it, for no reason, like, where were you last night between 7 and 8? I was like, I don't know. How about you ask me why? You know?
I would have told her I was bumping uglies with your mom.
Yeah, then you'd get arrested.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
go to jail.
That's her fear too when the cops come up to me. Where were you yesterday?
I'd punch you in the face for that.
That's her.
Yeah, I just, it's, you know, that the one thing I've learned in the music business for as long as I've been in it is you have to be real personable. You have to have a very good business head on your shoulders, but also you got to know when to just spot bullshit and cut it out at the very beginning. Because if you let it drag on, it just turns into something you don't want to deal with.
Yeah, totally understand.
Just say no.
Yeah, just say no.
Just say no.
Sounds like one of the old Derek commercials. Just say no.
Hey, you know what's funny is we were talking about this the other day. In today's music, like, if you have a really serious band that is making serious headway and that they're doing all the right things, I can tell you a couple of things that they are not. I'm going to guarantee you they're not drug addicts. I'm going to guarantee you they're not alcoholics. And I'm going to guarantee you that they are not slackers. Because in order to make it in today's music business, you got to be on your A game.
Well, I've listened to a lot of podcasts about that, because back in the 70s and 80s, there was so much money in the music business that you could take somebody like Axl Rose or Vince Neil or whoever, and it's like, okay, this guy's probably going to screw up a whole lot, but we can pay somebody good money to babysit them, basically, and make sure they at least get to the show alive.
I mean,
and there's not that extra budget now, and so record labels want bands that are successful on their own and can maintain themselves on their own before they take a chance on you now, because you got to think, you got to develop an artist over a period of so many years. You're looking at like a few $100,000 if you're talking like or closer to $1 million, and depending on how big
record labels not only like paid babysitters, but they also instigated a lot of that too. I mean, if you go back and look at like Motley Crue when they were writing a record, they literally had drugs in the budget for the record. Like that was budgeted into the cost of the album, because the record label like, look, unless you know Neil is just out of his mind on crank, there's no way he's not going to do good. So I mean,
and you're right. You're right. I mean, if you have not seen The Dirt yet on YouTube, on Netflix,
no, it's amazing,
bro. I gotta hop in on this, and you're so right, because I know for a fact, because I knew Clive Davis back in the day. I know Junior because I went to high school with him. The bottom line is the record labels back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. You got to go to the 50s, because, you know, the end of the 50s, because that's when it was getting that free loves thing going on. It was going haywire. And the information that we get today, knowing the bands that were back in those days, you know they were on drugs.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, we're the Monkeys. You know.
I mean, dude, the Beatles wrote
Yellow Submarine.
Yellow Submarine. I'm the War. It's like
But
You
they
mean
were
to
good
tell
songs.
you mean to tell me somebody wasn't on drugs for that? Oh,
Meatloaf,
no.
I mean, come on, look
Meatloaf.
at Pink Floyd's The Wall. I mean, I'm not saying Roger Waters was on. any
Oh yeah, he was on some
80s
shit,
but,
man. He was on some
But
good shit.
I mean, he was on some kind of psychedelic. Because if you really paid attention to The Wall, yeah,
yeah.
You know, and I mean, for what it is, it made great music. I mean,
Yeah.
we wouldn't have those albums and those songs if it wasn't for the drug influence on it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, you look at the damage it did to all these artists' life, and you're like, God, I mean, you know, was it worth it? You
Freddie
know,
Mercury. I mean, like, God.
you know, I mean, you know, these people wrote great epic albums and they're held as legends, but you know, they basically ruined their lives in an aspect to do it.
Vince Neil's like the biggest one that I can think about. I mean, but Motley Crue has turned around so big that they're one of the only bands left that have been to rehab and stuck with the program.
Oh yeah.
I mean, after I saw The Dirt, before that, I actually saw American Satan. Now,
love that movie.
I absolutely love that movie, and you're absolutely right on it. I mean, it's just like, come on, Goldberg was the babysitter. Everybody knows Goldberg. Bill Goldberg was the babysitter. So he calls the producer. He's like, this dude, you know, he's whacking out. He can't go on stage. He's having serious withdrawals. I mean, he's trying to go clean, but he can't do it. He's like, shoot him up, get him on stage, do whatever you got to do to get him out there.
Yeah,
shoots him up.
Hey, I got one more statement. Now, even in the music industry, we had our boys that had to have the inspiration. You know what I mean? Had to have a little, let me do it in the camera, inspiration for the people out there. So the bottom line is simple. They had to have inspiration to get up, but it does not discredit their talent.
No, absolutely not. No, I don't. If that's what I insinuated, I totally didn't mean it that way. You know, I think it was more or less, you know, that they were talented, and it took them, their vices took them to that level. I mean, their talent is what got them to that level.
People
But
don't know what to do with all that talent when they're like that. Like people we're talking about, like they don't know what to, I don't know. It's.
I mean, in modern time, we have a quote unquote Amy Winehouse. Everybody screams about her. We have my man that was from what is it? Oh God, what's that group? That's Linkin Park. Thank you, my brain cells. I was actually, man, I'm telling you, you know, and I know, everybody knows they did some shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be honest with you. We know they did some shit. But the thing is that you can hear it in the transition of the music from the album 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can hear the transition. You can know how much drugs they were doing because you can hear the difference. That first album that they came out with, not the pre-album they came out with. I'm talking about the first marketed album they came out with. When I'm talking about, that was dope. That was the shiznits. And then afterwards, it started transitioning.
Like so many, like downloads or album sales or something. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They hit over just like this big amount of sales, like that, like a big rock album, like it was going down to like the records. I can't remember.
Oh yeah, but I mean, but Linkin Park when they come out, period, were one of the greatest things that happened to music at that time. You know, they helped break nu metal. And then when nu metal started going downhill, they transitioned into something completely else and managed to stay on top.
Yeah, they transitioned into what they call popcore because that's when they brought in their DJ, and that's when they were bringing out they were cranking out the songs for Transformers, and they weren't as heavy as they were,
in Hybrid Theory.
The red hair.
And then you got like groups like Disturbed. Disturbed.
No,
don't you go to Disturbed.
No, don't you bring up Disturbed now.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Don't do that.
I'm sorry. I'm going to leave it alone, okay? I'm going to hold back. Disturbed. Down with the sickness. All the way
That's like me talking about Aaron Lewis. Come on. Okay. Everybody knows who Aaron Lewis is.
Yes,
who
we
did
do.
He sing before he went solo?
Okay. We're going to leave you alone. Look, you hear me quiet in the mic all the way down.
Aaron Lewis was actually he wrote every one of his songs for Sting.
Oh yeah, Aaron Lewis. To this day, in my opinion, he was one of the last.
Great.
Like Aaron Lewis was one of the last real writers.
Yep.
Desert Rose. Hey, hey.
Come on, Seal.
We
Come
all.
If you listen to Stain, their third album does not get the credit it deserves.
No.
The 13 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
That record to this day is probably my favorite. And every time I tell somebody that, they're like, "That's your favorite Stained record." And I'm like, if you really listen to his writing in that record, it is just epic. That's the one that had like pay to play, so far away,
so far away.
Yeah. It had like Zoe Jane on it.
It had Zoe Jane on it. Yeah, that record was amazing. Songs on it were just epic.
Now, hey, these guys got to come back, man. I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm old and I'm God. I got to say it. They got to come back because, listen, you've appealed to my heart, man. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want to cry on the screen.
So, I mean, you guys, anytime y'all want to come back here, y'all got free time or whatever, just hit
awesome.
me.
Thank you.
Now, let's get back onto the show. You already stopped me from crying, okay? You just ran me over, okay? It's okay. I love you, Junior.
What's the Disturbed thing? Somebody's got to explain the Disturbed thing.
Now, let me go. Let's see. Let me say, I love my Disturbed. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, I'm from the Queen of the Damned era. Okay.
Oh my God! Right, one of my favorite soundtracks.
And I was, and your favorite soundtrack, bro. I got the whole soundtrack of it, and you know, I got to tell you honestly, the whole soundtrack is a killer. I'm not talking about. I mean, every aspect of the music. My wife doesn't like it. I'll be honest with you. She's over there in the corner. I won't.
I loved it.
Oh my God, it is.
You know, and they gave Disturbed so much shit when he decided to sing "The Sound of Silence." Like they gave him so much shit.
Oh yeah, they did. They tried to say he couldn't see. Listen, I'm sorry.
I know.
But the man has a voice.
People, you can hate me in the world, but honestly, that is one of the top songs Disturbed has ever done and covered.
Oh, I will tell you right now. I remember when I heard the Sound of Silence cover, and you know, even if you didn't like Disturbed, you had to go. That was really well done.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know, Bad Wolves when they covered Dolores' Cranberry song.
Oh
Zombies.
my God, no, you didn't go the Bad Wolves treatment on me, brother. Come on, that was listen. I love the original. I'm not gonna knock you on that one, but when Bad Wolves did their cover on it, I gotta say it.
You do know Dolores was supposed to
It
sing on
touched
it
me.
before she died, right?
It touched me, man. They did a cover on a song that had power.
So much meaning. Yes.
Oh God.
The video was really cool too.
Yeah, it
The video
was.
gave her, I mean, even more power, I thought.
You know.
I don't know, Odin. We're probably gonna have to get some Roses and Red T-shirt or something.
Shooky. Here we go again. The battle's on. Oh, I gotta get on. Look, I'm supposed to be quiet today. I'm sorry. Back to the show. I mean, Junior. We're not gonna battle this one, are we?
No, maybe tomorrow.
Tomorrow. All right, we'll say. Listen, let everybody know. Me and Junior have a battle over questions, and we know too much. Every show.
We're so magically minded at the same time. I can think of something, and he'd be like, "Dude, I was just thinking that. What do you see in my thoughts?"
Yeah, but I'm gonna say it again. You know, for David being a good guy from Disturbed, the lead singer, the Beast, he lost a lot of weight. I was starting to wonder about him now, cause you know, I met him when I was at NYU back in the day, and Disturbed was just a baby puppy walking around on two legs. And now I'm gonna tell you another group. I'm gonna go to another group.
We're gonna have a fit.
You know something? I should shut up because you know why?
We talk about Godsmack, we're gonna have a fit.
You know, I was going to go there, and I'm leaving you alone. Hold on. Technical difficulties.
I know exactly what band you're talking about because Godsmack and Disturbed came out exactly at the same time.
And they battled hard.
Godsmack album.
Now, my favorite SmackDown, my favorite Godsmack album.
Lay the smack down.
My favorite Godsmack album of all time is actually the one that they did for the Scorpion King.
Oh yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let me say it out loud. Fuck yeah!
I love the last one though. Like I jammed it over and over and over when I first started.
You can never go wrong with some old school metal, especially that Disturbed, Godsmack. The old Slipknot. I'm not saying Slipknot's not good anymore.
Don't do it. Don't you do it.
The old Slipknot, what they had some of the original members. I'm not mentioning any names, Joey Jordison. They were good. They were good. I mean, I saw them at the first when they came down to San Antonio for Ozfest.
Oh no, you didn't go there.
Now, it was the first time that I've ever heard of Slipknot. I absolutely fell in love because that's when they had the Iowa album.
Hold on.
They were coming out with the dreadlock mask.
I was waiting for it.
Yeah.
See,
the first time I ever heard Slipknot was on a compilation CD.
Scream.
But yeah,
Scream.
It had System of a Down. It had Seven Dust.
Yes. She's right.
Seven Dust is another good band. I mean, that's Seven Dust and Killswitch Engage are one of the only two bands I know besides El Nino that have. I gotta put this.
Now, while he's trying to think, because I know his brain is locked up into El Nino right now. You know something? I miss going to Lollapalooza.
Oh my God, Lollapalooza. I'm
sorry. I got to shut the hell up because I sat in the lap of God. I'm sorry. When Cypress Hill was there, I sat in the lap of Buddha. I had to do it right. Buddha. I sat in the lap of Buddha.
And you got All Insane in the Membrane.
What membrane? I don't remember leaving the damn place and then slam dancing and having a good. You know something? I want this band that you have right now to bring back the good old days when we used to. Hold on. I want to bring it all back. Yes,
they're bringing back good lyrics, good vibes, and great music.
And you know something
that a good band should have.
And you know the last part I want them to bring back. The love of having people in an audience. You can go to any of these clubs. Well, not during COVID time, but you can go to clubs and you can see these bands performing. Next thing you know, they're gone. You don't get to meet the band members. You don't get to give them a hug or high five or slap or do a line of coke or something with them or smoke a joint.
I don't know, Odin. I don't know. Maybe the gods of Asgard can give them a live concert virtually.
You know something? You calling for it? Are you calling for it? Are you calling for it, buddy? Because I'll bring it.
Maybe the gods of Asgard can give them a live virtual concert.
I hear it coming. And all they got to do.
It's really up to you guys. I give it off of our network all over the world.
I will stream you live worldwide.
That way y'all can get some practicing, some jamming, show the world what you guys are all about.
We got to get Jed over.
See, the fun is in the music industry. And I know because I was a musician. I tried out for NXS. Yes, I was a keyboardist. I wanted to be in NXS.
Incredible. And how have we gone this long and that tidbit of information has not been given to me?
I am so sorry. I just mentioned it for you. I don't talk about it because right after they accepted me for NXS, they canceled the band. The band broke apart officially.
Well, that's because is this right before he died or
right before he died?
Yep.
So the band just went. But the bottom line is that I was going to be a member. Now my half sister Anna married Morrissey. Yes, Morrissey himself from the UK, England. Morrissey is huge. I used to go to Depeche Mode, Pet Shop Boys, all those concerts back in the day. And yeah, she has a little baby, Morrissey Jr., sitting at the house. And that's my half-sister. I love my half-sister Annie to death. But the key is the industry needs revitalizing. The industry is not a Sean Combs. It's not a controlled by the Kardashians. The industry is actually alive only because of the performers. It's not controlled by Axl Rose or Boy George. And I'm sorry to say, everybody, Boy George has major power in this industry.
Yeah.
That boy George he can make him break you in 13.1 seconds. But on another note, I just want this band to know I would do a simulcast live on the Global Enlightenment Radio Network. If they ever want to do a show, it is live here. Thank you, Junior, because you know what you just did? You opened that door for them, and I'm going to take that door and I'm going to drive it straight into the hearts of all the listeners.
Hey, like I said earlier, the little people look out for me. I'm going to look out for the little people. So,
thank you.
Like I said, I've said it once, I'll say it again. Without Jared Dimes, I would not know who you guys are. And honestly, like I was saying earlier, favorite song of all time is Rapture. Love that song. Absolute favorite. And, it just, in one of the bars, it says, the past is in the rearview mirror, which a lot of people need to understand. That's actually just life in general. Yes. That needs to be like that at all times.
Absolutely. And
to me, it never goes away. It's just what you do with it, how you move forward from it. And a lot of people can't. So it's
that's what it is.
Deep topic, yeah.
So I just want to thank you guys for answering. John, I know you're back there somewhere. I just want to thank you for getting back to me, man, on that email. Like I said, you guys are actually one of the first bands on this network ever. So
awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for having us.
We took your fan sharing.
And please don't forget something.
That want to come on the show or whatever, tell them to hit me up. They can find me on Facebook, and John's got my number.
Yeah.
Junior, don't forget, brother, don't forget. I'm the drunken god, so don't worry about me right now. I'm just going to tell you something, and it's best that y'all catch me like this because something. I'm a gift for giving, and I give because I appreciate who you are. When you're ready to do a live broadcast, you come to me. You hit Junior, he'll bring it to me. Junior's, listen, out of many of my hosts, and I trust every host member on my network, I love my Junior for one reason. He's too much like me. But on the other side, see, you heard my wife in the background. But on the other side, I would love to just broadcast you live for the people. I will cut into, listen, people, I'm going to say it openly. I will cut into a show to do a live broadcast. Now, how many people can lay that Dean down and that order down other than Odin?
Yeah, so whenever y'all want to throw a virtual concert, we still on lockdown. You guys are still on lockdown. Y'all can't do much. Y'all can't do venues, whatever y'all
want. Yeah.
You want people to listen to you guys, you come straight to us, man. Like I said, you can tell any other band you guys know, you can send them this way. We're more than likely to have them on, give them some publicity, tell them about their origin, how they became together and stuff like that. So not a big problem for us.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. We don't totally.
So like I told Odin, now we got to order some shirts from them. That way.
Hey, just send us the information. We'll take care of you.
All right. I'll send it to John. I got his personal number.
Yep.
That was actually weird because I was like, man, you know what? I hope he gets this. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to give him my number. That way I can just text him because this I know he's busy.
Just text us what size and where to send it to. We'll take care of you.
So like I said,
it's extra large. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
What she tells you in the dreams, Odin?
Oh, no, you didn't. Hold on. If it's not a big old vessel of liquor, than it is the wine.
But is it half full or half gone?
I don't know, because I keep getting it refilled. I just snap my finger and poof, it's there.
He's got that I love Genie magic going on right now. Just snaps his fingers and the cup magically fills up.
Hold on a second. Let me rub my can. But no, seriously, on all forts and all fronts, I want people to understand, and especially the guest that's on today. I rarely come on to its show. I rarely get a chance to speak. I rarely get a chance to want to talk to people. And you guys are dynamic. You have personality, unlike many of the others that I have talked with, interviewed, been around, blah, blah, blah. I would be honored to do a live show with you on my network, and it would be a broadcast not only to Global Enlightenment, but it would be broadcast to PSN and RBN, which is Republic Broadcasting Network. And I am everywhere. Odin is everywhere. And Global Enlightenment is not just everywhere. It's in the hearts of
No, we just get it set up. That's all we got to do.
The
Whenever
millions.
you guys are all together
Yeah,
freely.
we got to get our bass player, then get set up. We'll make it happen.
Make it happen, brother. Just send Junior a message, or just send it to Junior, because Junior's the easiest one to get to me. And Junior or Christina, send them a message. They'll message me and say, hey, you got this time free? Yeah, I do, because I got another computer in the other room. I got another mixer. And let me let you know, we don't run it cheap. We don't run it like those other networks do. We have real mixers, real network equipment. Does the word real mean anything to people anymore? Because I mean, I think they've lost their consciousness. I mean,
this is the realest it's gonna get, guys. Because like I was telling, you weren't here earlier, but we don't just stream, on YouTube and Facebook.
Oh hell no!
We stream off of Twitter, Twitch,
iHeart,
Instagram. So we're even on the AM radios in Korea right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we on
They probably have no
Korea.
idea what we're saying.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
So I mean, like I said, you are being blasted all around the world, man. We get so many questions in. We get so many, like right now, we're just looking at the Instagram page. There were so many hearts going up because there was like, everybody's like, oh, the Jared Dines video. Now we know who they are. And there's
That's awesome.
Like right now on Facebook, we got
knows who you
watchers.
are now.
We got watchers who look just sitting there enjoying the show. The problem that I have is that a lot of networks have. I shouldn't be talking about this, but I'm gonna say it. I gotta say it. The biggest issue I have is that a lot of networks have people that will watch, okay, like on those social media, but they won't call in. I challenge the people to call in right now. You see it on your screen. Call in and give this man some love. Give this band some love. Are you scared? Well, you know something?
We got our love.
We love you. We're here. Am I right or wrong? Is the band? Everybody's. Hey, I love my drummer. I mean, as soon as he, we got to hook up later,
He's
man.
like, he went total fanboy when you came in. He's like, I know.
Oh, no, you didn't. No, I got to go to the.
He's like, there goes that fanboy look.
Oh, no, you didn't say it out loud. I know you. I heard you, and I was like, I'm trying to avoid it. But yes, you're right. I played drums when I was in elementary school, all the way to middle school.
Double pedal.
And then double pedal. And then I was in chorus, and I was a baritone. I was a singer. I went to the Soviet Union. I've been all over the world singing with my high school, St. John College High School, which is over on Military Road, Washington, D.C., number 2 school in the country. I had to say that out loud. But that's the earthly being that I am. But as a God, I must say, you people need to wisen up, open up, and call in if you want to ask this wonderful group Any questions? Because
I got one more question. I mean, how
Yeah.
the hell do you guys do it in Memphis, knowing that you are smack down in the middle of Music Row?
you know something? That was my question. You took my question again, damn it.
So, all right. So when I was, I guess this has to go back to when I was in Pro Severe, because
A lot's changed.
a lot's changed
In
since
Memphis.
then. Yeah, in Memphis, but we had one of the most supportive, wonderful venues in the world in Memphis, Tennessee. It was right on dead at the very end of Bill Street. It was called the New Daisy Theater, and it was a 1,000-seat concert hall. And I mean, when you think 1,000-seat, I mean, this was a good sized place. I mean, every like mid-sized national act came through this venue, and that was home for us. That was, you could go in there and play to 100 people on a local only night, or you could be a local and build your repertoire up to where you were playing to 300, 400, 500 people a night, or you could be opening for a national act to a sold out crowd. That's just, that venue always supported the local artist, and if you had 3 bands and all you could bring was 150 people into this big, large 1,000-seat venue, they were more than happy to have you there that night because they supported the local scene.
Yeah.
So from the 90s all the way till about 2015-ish, 16-ish, we had this venue at our disposal. And when you think of all the Memphis bands that came to popularity, that got record deals and left the Memphis area to go on to do better things, you could go all the way back to the 80s with Tora Tora. You could go into the late 90s and early 2000s with bands like Saliva and Breaking Point and Dust for Life.
I haven't heard the live one so long. God damn. Yeah. Now you're making me feel old, man.
Well, these are all the bands that when I was coming up were doing big stuff.
Yeah.
And so, that venue, the New Daisy Theater, is where all these bands cut their teeth. And, even going back to a band that was, basically like me and one of my other bands, or you could even say Pro Severe, when Pro Severe became, one of the premier regional touring acts that we became. We had the ones right above us, which were Egypt Central, which everybody knows Egypt Central. And, they were a huge act to follow through like the mid 2000s. Their album White Rabbit was on like Billboard's top 200 for like 52 or 53 weeks or something like that. I mean, it was incredible. And, that's how Memphis supported its rock scene. Well, certain things happen, ownership changes of certain places, and new people take it over, and they had really great intentions and they didn't work out the way they were supposed to. And this really amazing venue that set the bar for the local bands to become the national bands stopped really caring about the local artists, and they became more about bringing in the national bands and became more about profit versus basically building a scene. And we had several other venues in town that were good venues, but they kind of did the same thing. They sold out, ownership changed from one hand to another. And essentially being a rock band in Memphis, Tennessee is hard right now. I mean, before COVID, there's no home for it. We don't have a home. Your venues are the venues for the cover bands. They're the venues for the, tourists coming to Memphis to see the blues music. That's what all of these venues in Memphis, and I'm not talking trash about any of these venues. That's just what they were there for. This venue wasn't set up to be a live original act venue. This venue might have been set up as a place, as a bar to go eat and listen to your favorite cover bands play. That's not on that venue, because when they did that, we had our original content, big venues for our stuff. But now with them gone, there's only a handful of places really left that are supporting the rock music. And the thing is, they're great venues. You know, I don't ever want to take away from that. Places like Growlers and the High Tone here in Memphis. If it wasn't for those venues, we wouldn't have anywhere to play. But you know, but at the same time, you know, for as much as I love, you know, Skinny and the High Tone and Growlers, you know, these places were not like the New Daisy Theater. You know, these are, you know, like I said, it's hard to compete with 1,000 capacity venue that you could literally put up huge light shows and bring pyro and stuff in. And you can't do that in these smaller bars and clubs. It's just not feasible. So, you know, that I think losing the New Daisy Theater was one thing that really hurt us here in Memphis, because now you don't have a middle ground venue, if that makes sense. You either have the smaller bars and clubs, or you have our big amphitheaters and arenas. You know, you can either play to 150 people or 5 or 10,000. But as far as playing to 500 or 1,000 or 2,500, you don't have a place, because you go to one of the big places and only put 2,500 people in it. Well, it looks like it's dead. And of course, if you can sell 2,500 tickets, you're not going to go to the 150 person bar because they can't support you. So literally, that's kind of what we saw happen here, was just, you know, our really homegrown venues kind of disappeared because the local scene, you know, changed, and ownership and stuff changed. And I mean, also, you know, without rambling on too long right now, you know, just music business in general changed. You know, we went to an industry where more people stayed at home and watched stuff on the phone or on the internet as opposed to actually going out. And I think part of that is maybe the music industry's fault a little bit. You know, we got to the point where ticket prices were too high. Buying beer in the venue was too high.
Don't even get me started on the beer.
So
beer was ridiculous going to a venue. You went to a venue to see a decent band. I'm gonna throw it out there. I think we went to go see who was it? Merciful Fate.
Mm-hmm.
And beer was like $10 for a 16-ounce can. I was like, hello.
Oh hell no!
I was like, for $10, I go buy a whole 6-pack.
well, you got to imagine. So take there again. I don't want to keep harshing back to my Persevere days, but if you take when I was in the band Persevere, and we were playing at the whatever venue, let's just say the New Daisy Theater. So it's $10 to get through the door, right? So that's $10. Well, that's on Bill Street. You can't park on Bill Street.
So right.
You got to find somewhere to park. So that's going to be at least another $10. So now you're at $20. And if beer and drinks are $10 a piece and you just drink one, that's $10. You just spent $30 to go see a mid-sized regional band or a local band. Even if it's just a regular local band, you just paid $30 to go see a local band play. And in the first 30 minutes, you've spent $30. You paid 10 to park, 10 to get in, and 10 for your first beer.
Don't forget your first ticket.
You spent $60 to go see a local band.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's great, but the problem is the local band never saw a dime of that. You know, the parking people got that, the beer people got that, everybody got a cut, so the local band still played for free. You spent $60 to go see it, and that's how you collapse a business. It's that simple.
And don't forget that the local bands are getting the door, so they are going to collect more money because people are coming in. And plus, the people that are parking on the street are going to get ticketed like crazy. And you know and I know they going to get hit. Oh, exactly. They getting hit hard, baby. Yeah. I know exactly where you're at. And you know something? I'm sorry, I had to jump in. Dang, Connie, I'm so sorry, people. I can't help myself. Let me get back to Fireballs.
He's over here drinking Fireballs.
But no, I really think that's what happened. I think, you know, the music industry, the music business in general, I think it got to the point where it was a little bloated. It had some fat on it, and I think they just expected they could keep, you know, kind of doing it the way they were doing it, and people were just going to pay for it. And I think that backfired a little bit. You know,
And
I mean, you know, if I spend $100 to go see an arena band and they've got pyro and fireworks and they're blowing stuff up on stage, to me that's worth $100 to see that.
Yeah.
But if I pay $10 to park, $10 to get in, and drink 3 beers, and it cost me $60, and I'm watching a local band who maybe it's their only second or third show. Well, there's only a $40 difference between this band and the band that's blowing stuff up on stage. Like, I'm not saying it's not worth it, because I do believe it is worth it. But if you're not that big into it, or you've never, you know, there again, you know who the arena band is. You might be going to see the local band. You've never heard them. You've never seen them. You could go spend $60 to not like them.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and so I think that was part of the downfall of the music business in general. Was, you know, it's hard to expect people to just shell out their hard-earned money for something that they don't even know what's going on with it. When for the same amount of money or less, they could go do something that they know is going to be good. And I think that, you know, because you got to remember, like back in the day, the music venues were the places where you hung out.
Right.
So, you know, you didn't necessarily go to see a band. You went because that was the place to hang out.
The
And
vibe.
you were gonna go. You were gonna go sit down, drink a few beers with some buds, you know, hang out with friends, and you know, so hey, look, there's a band playing.
Odin
Yeah.
is back, and I gotta say it, Junior. Hold on, I want his book, Junior. Come to Neely Worldwide Publishing. I want your book, because you know something. What you said is really so true, and it's actually seen in the history of Clive Davis. I'm gonna say it, Clive Davis. Everybody knows Ariston Records. Everybody knows Clive Davis. Clive Davis Jr. I know them both. I knew him when I was a little kid. You see my picture with Expose. Hell, I took Ann Curtis to the prom. Yeah, my high school prom. But the bottom line is this. The truth is what you're saying. When they go to hear a concert, they're paying more than they even know. It's the underlining experience. You know the industry inside and out. I know you've been around for a long time, okay? I ain't got nothing to say about it. I know you know the industry, like the little lady right there. She knows the industry from her standpoint. You know the industry from your standpoint. Everybody in the band knows the industry because you've been around. Why not a collaboration? Write a book and do a slap all. Because, no, honestly speaking, it's not a slap to you as performers. It's not a slap to you doing towards the industry. But it is a slap all for all those vendors. See, that's the key word I'm going to use to you. It's not the promoters. It's not the owners of the corporations. Yeah, it's to the vendors. The vendors are supercharging. Come on now. Like we just said, why are you paying $15 for look, this cup right here?
Yeah,
liquor,
pretty much.
$15. Excuse me. The bottle cost me $14, and you're gonna give me this for excuse me, hold on, let's weigh this out. You go to a baseball event, $5 cups, but you go to a music event, they jump up to 15. There's something wrong with it, and it's called stealing.
You know, and it just not just goes with, you know, bands. I mean, I've been a DJ producer since I was like 15. It's like one of my dreams to play like these giant venues, like some of these giant DJs out there right now.
Well, if you're on the East Coast, I would have gotten you to the Palladium before it closed down, because I used to DJ, carry the albums from Sean Combs, Puff Daddy, from Howard University all the way up to New York. But that's another story, and we'll talk about that later. And also, I was there during the day that Marlon and Sean did a little destruction on property on a vending machine because we were so high.
But I mean, you're right. You know, it's done changed a lot, because people rather go pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to go see one guy play 1 hour or maybe less because he's got his name out there versus, go pay, $10 at a local club, hang out with some good friends, and just chill out and vibe out to the guy who's playing music.
Well, you're right, and I'm about to tell you probably the most un-PC thing ever, especially in the metal community. Because
hold on. Before you do it, slow down. I don't want you to look. Now, this information is only for the viewers that really give a damn about what's going on in the real world. See, Global Enlightenment is reality, truth, not living in that damn matrix that you've been stuck in and believing. You believe that those artists are not making money? Well, guess what? 9 times out of 10, they're not. Because the companies that own them, contracts that own them, those promoters that own them are making it. Now go ahead, brother. I know where you're going. I exactly know where you're going.
One of the biggest problems, I think, music in general, especially live music. We were talking earlier about how, the venues were the cool places to hang out, and you went there, and that's where you saw the bands because you didn't even know what band was playing. You were just going to hang out because that's where you hung out at. Well, like I said, the most un-PC thing I could ever say about the late 90s and the early 2000s were, so you still had the venues and they were still the places to go hang out. And what I'm about to say is going to trigger so many people. And I've told it to this whole band and they laugh at me every time, but I call it the shitty metal band syndrome.
This is the one that's been in
And
here.
what I mean by the shitty metal band syndrome is we had this period where everybody wanted to be in a metal band.
Yeah.
And so literally every one of your friends played in a metal band. Every one of them. It's like, hey, Johnny, what are you doing this week? He's like, oh, dude, I started a metal band. Our first show was Saturday. I picked up my drums today. And like, so he got a drum kit today, and Saturday they're playing their first show. So the thing is all these venues where all these people hung out at, the venue owners, maybe it's their fault. I don't know whose fault it is. But they would look and this guy would come in and go, hey, man, I'm in a metal band. And new metal's cool. Everybody's listening to Biscuit and Killswitch Engage and Linkin Park. And you come in and you say, I got a band, we're new metal, and I want to play your venue. And they go, well, what do you sound like? Well, we sound like Linkin Park and Slipknot and all these great things put together. And they're like, awesome, come play Saturday night. And then they set up, and for 45 minutes, it's the most god-awful thing you've ever seen in your entire life.
Right. Oh, my
God.
God.
It's just nothing but a whole bunch of noise, guitars out of tune, drummers off beat. Right. And what happened is at the end of the night, one of the business owners or the venue owners comes up to the other one and goes, that band is awful. And then the other one goes, yeah, but they did it for free. So we want them back next week because now we can take up an hour's worth of time and not have to pay for it. So we can take that money and put it in our pocket.
Right.
And so all these venues started letting these shitty metal bands play. And they were collecting, the money because these bands were playing for free. They were playing for the greatest scam ever in the music business, which is quote unquote exposure. And so, and then what happened is you started looking at your buddies and you started looking at your friends and going, hey, what do you guys want to do? Like, you want to go down to the venue to see a band play? Hell no, dude. I've been there 3 weeks in a row and it's the same shitty metal band playing.
Where did he go?
You know what? You done broke Odin. You done broke him. He's gone. You done broke him. But no, you're right. I've seen it happen a million times out here. I'm not saying nothing. I grew up in the San Antonio era. We had the White Rabbit, which is now the Tiger. But the White Rabbit had some good bands. We had, we had MCR, My Chemical Romance. Bullet for My Valentine, Black Little Bright, bands like that. And then you have the shitty bands. You had those bands and they're like, oh, what's the cover chart? Oh, don't worry about it, just go in.
Well, see, that's different. If you're not charging, that's a whole different game.
Right.
If you want to put all these bands in here and not charge anybody and everybody wants to come in for free, awesome. But you can't charge people to go in and see it, because then eventually no one's going to want to pay to do it.
Because it's
They
crap.
don't feel like they're getting their money's worth.
Because they're getting crap music. Come on, tell the truth,
You know,
brother.
and look, so and the reason I said that's very un-PC is because, let me back up and say that I will always support anybody who wants to play music. If you want to play music, by all means. And you know, there's some people at this caliber of playing, and there's some people at this caliber of playing. And it doesn't matter how good you are or how bad you are. If you enjoy doing music and playing music, I support you in that 10 million% all day, every day of the week. But if you're going to take it into being a band and to charging people to come see you, well, then I believe it is an obligation of yours to make sure that you have created music, or that you have a band that is at least well put together and everybody can tune their instruments and at least play in the time together. Hell, hopefully all four of you can play the same songs at the same time. You know, you would hope.
My mic's hot.
You know, like I said, if you're going to charge people to come see you as an act, I believe you owe it to those people to have an act to show them. But, you know, I really believe we ended with this era that everybody thought they could play music, and everybody thought they were a musician, and everybody had a band. And, you know, instead of these big venues and these promoters and these booking agents, instead of going, hey, I don't think your band's quite here yet. Y'all go to the woodshed for a little while, and when you're ready, come back and we'll talk. No, they just saw it as a free band to take up 45 minutes of the night, throw them on that stage. We'll collect the money. No big deal. It's just one band, and then the next three bands are going to be great. Well, then three bands turned into two crappy bands and two good bands, and then it turned into three crappy bands and one good band, and then it just turned into a whole night of shit. And you're charging people for it.
Oh, hold on. Can I get in this? My man is hot. I love him because he knows exactly what I was going to say about the industry. And the last part about it is, with all that going on at the same time, you know who's getting screwed? The consumer that's buying those damn tickets, sitting in there at the same time, listening to all that bullshit, because guess what? You might as well sound like you're tuning up the band instead of being in a band, because most of those people are not coming in prepared. Listen, the key word is you got to tune before you perform. And that's what
you waited till you went on stage. You waited too long.
Right. And most of those people are like, not like, I'm gonna say it like the 60s when the bands used to just pop on stage. Y'all remember those movies where you see the bands coming on stage instantly right behind another? Well, in this world today, we have a key thing called auto-tune, which made many people sound better than they really are.
Hold on,
I'm going to guarantee you.
Are you talking about the king of auto-tune now? How dare you
hey.
How dare you talk about T-Pain?
Listen. If you listen, that's right. I'm going to talk about T-Pain. I'm going to talk about many of those singers out there that cannot go on stage and do an a cappella without auto-tune.
Lil Wayne, you're out of here.
Now listen to me. Lil Wayne's gone. Lil Wayne got shot in the back. He shot the sheriff. No, the sheriff shot him twice in the ass. The bottom line is, when you're listening to bands today, by the way, if y'all get in contact with me, I left my number on the screen for y'all. I can see about getting y'all booked into DC bars like the Velvet Lounge. And these are big names. I'm just letting you know. Velvet Lounge, Sign the Well, which is great. I used to go to a lot of bands. Listen, I'm going to be honest. I'm from the 80s era. I love real music. I love hanging out with bands. I like to party. If I go to a rave, I want the rave to sound good, not auto-tuned.
My raves never sound auto-tuned. They're fucking black.
Hey, we don't say you have raves, brother, now. Come on now. You know, raves.
It's actually legal these days.
Oh, now it is? I'm still in it. Listen,
there's certain raves that are very popular, these days. They're called the Electric Daisy Carnival. Tomorrowland.
Let me tell you, Black Bot sounded terrible. And you know what I'm saying. I'm talking about the 2 Unlimited was okay for a minute, okay? I heard Journey live. Let me give you, everybody like Bobby Brown New Edition. I'm sorry. Bobby Brown sound like crap before they turned the auto-tune on halfway through the show. I'm being honest. I'm sorry. And if you
That's
say
also because Bobby Brown did probably more cocaine than one human being should be able to do.
hold on now, don't talk about Bobby Brown doing that much cocaine, man. I might have to.
I mean, come
hold
on.
on, what are you talking
Everybody-
about?
Everybody knew Bobby and Whitney did that much.
Hey,
cocaine.
my
Everybody
question
knew.
is, how did you get your whole hand up? Never mind. I got a lady in the room still. I got a lady in the room still. I can't
I
talk
don't know
about
which
that out loud.
worse is that he went there or that I knew exactly what he was talking about when he went there.
Oh, listen. I am sorry, Bobby Brown had me tripping out when I saw Bobby and Whitney, but we're gonna leave that alone because I didn't know
That's
Whitney was
another
that
story
deep.
for another day.
I didn't know Whitney was that deep, man. I'm sorry. I know other people have
No
been
pun
there.
intended.
I didn't know. Look, I know other people have been there, but damn.
You know,
Look.
You know, Bobby liked, he loved
Hold
him
on.
the certified pre-owned vehicles.
Certified. God damn. Man, that shit had
but-
balding wheels, man.
I want to thank you guys for actually, agreeing to come on the show in the first
I
place.
love them, man. I love them. Hey,
Absolutely.
Guys,
Thank
you're
you
like-
guys for
they
having
will
us.
come back, and I listen. As Odin, I must say I raise my glass to these gentlemen and the lady, especially the lady, because
She kind of does reserve all the credit. Because
yeah, she's the
her
lead.
idea to begin with.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
putting up with them.
Hey,
Well-
Hey, don't worry about it.
Oh no, I like my
They're guys.
man.
They gotta have their
I like
fun
that hair.
somehow.
I like that. I like my man. I like his hair up front. I mean, that's the cool shit, man. You know something? Y'all need to come to DC, and y'all need to come to one of these bars here. And I'm gonna tell you something. I will make sure you are packed. I mean, we have many good clubs and many good bars here in DC that. I'm sorry. On the average, we pack 400 to 800 easy. So what you need to do is come here. I'm honest and open. He's honest and open. We can get you East Coast, West Coast. I don't care. Mid, Southwest, Northwest. I don't care. The word is, we're here to support you. You're
God.
artists.
I'm gonna leave you with my favorite phrase of all time, and that is, "Don't you dare threaten me with a good time."
How much liquor can you drink?
I done told John and Allison, you guys ever come down here my way to Southwest Texas, San Antonio? Hit me up. I'll be the first one at the door.
Well,
I'll
I'm
be there an
heading
hour early.
Well, hey, hold on now.
I ditch work just to go.
Hold on. I got to tell you, Junior, I'm heading to Florida, but I might be coming to Texas because you might need an experience that you'll never forget in a glass bottle.
Boy, the one thing that you fail to regret is that I'm half Irish because of my dad, so I will put you under the table.
Man, you'll never be the Viking god. I cannot drink you every day. Hold on. Did I tell you I filled this whole thing up with liquor?
We done the same thing with a Mountain Dew down here, except we do it with vodka.
Oh, hold on. See, in this world, they always want the one upper god. But if
that's how you separate that's how you separate the men from the boys, is when you break the tequila out.
Oh, dude.
No.
No. We do the vodka. We do the vodka and the tequila mixed in one bottle.
How about that?
That just sounds awful.
Well, no. Let me take you to hey, we got time. I'm gonna take you to a new level, okay? Let me let you know what's in this bottle right here.
Uh-oh.
Okay?
That's that
I got the Rumple Mint.
Oh,
Okay.
shit.
I got the Rumple Mint and I got the Absolute Straight. No. And then, last but not least, I went and got some cone liquor. That's the only way a guy can dance.
Oh my God! But
Junior, you need to come home, my son. I need to teach you how to really do it the right way. Salute, my brother. I love you, man.
we'll end up in Valhalla one day together.
We'll all be. Hey, Christina be sitting on the side like, y'all motherfuckers left your glasses when you died.
She's like, let the motherfucker go.
Don't carry it with you, baby. It's all mine. I love you, but it's all mine.
That's pretty much what she would say. She's like, look, you died. I need to know before you died, where's the key to the liquor cabinet? Because I need it.
And where's your wheel at? I need that too.
Yeah, give me the keys to your car while you're at it. Add the credit card.
And that went up the nose, gentlemen and ladies. I'm not going to... Oh, God, that was a fireball with it, too. You know, I have to admit, if we will have a show and we're going to talk about alcohol, I love the taste of cinnamon. For some reason, I've just acquired the taste, so I add fireball to everything.
Hey, I tell you right now, Fireball and root beer.
You know something? I did that the other night. My wife hated me for it. She doesn't like me with Fireball in the house. Honey, come say it. Come say it. Do you like Fireball, baby?
Did I ever say that?
Oh, she never mentioned that. But she likes her whiskey.
Oh,
That's
Jameson.
because I'm a country woman.
Yeah,
Now,
she's
see,
Aussie.
that's me. I was raised
have
in the
my
country.
bourbon.
I love whiskey.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'll take me some vodka, Jaeger, tequila, and Jameson any day of the week.
well, I'm coming to you, okay? Because you got the Jameson and tobacco. Listen. He got the Jameson and Chewbacca. Chewy.
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 Right,
Yes,
right.
I did. I said it. All right, go. Listen, you got 5. Go have fun, man. All right, I'm going to go back to Alcoholics Anonymous. They need me.
Yeah, man. I mean, Christina done killed this thing today by herself. I don't know how that happened. She's over here boozing around, but I just want to thank you guys, for John,
thank
especially you for
Thanks
answering my
for having
message.
us.
It's always good to have, good music out there. So I appreciate that from you guys.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, no problem, guys. It's actually my absolute pleasure to bring you guys on. I mean, free publicity is best, right?
Absolutely. You just let us know and we'll be there.
Hey, you got. I know our show was only supposed to be an hour, but our producer kind of just ranted on and let me have a little fun. So we ended up.
Yeah, that was
He was having fun with Tommy there.
Yeah.
So we went a little bit above our scheduled thing, but I appreciate you guys, hanging in there with us. And whenever you guys want to come back on or whatever, y'all got a new album coming out. Y'all more than welcome to come on here again. Talk about it. We can shoot the shit. And for one last time, whenever you get your bass player back up there,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
let us know and we'll broadcast you live.
Also, we do have plans to come to Texas. So as soon as
Okay.
everything opens back
Yes.
up, I'm
So-
sure.
Yeah, I mean, here in San Antonio, we have a few venues. I mean, like I was telling him, we have the Rock Box. We have, I failed to mention, we have an actual metal club called Zombies.
Absolutely. Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah.
So, whenever you guys come down or whatever, just let me know what venue you guys are going to play at, and I'll ditch work. Like I said, I don't give a shit.
Absolutely, man. Well, thank you so much for having us. We really appreciate it.
Yes.
I don't know. The pleasure's all mine, guys. So this is Junior, Christina, with our special guests, Allison, John, and Tommy from Roses and Red.
Rocky.
Huh?
Rocky.
Rocky. I forget where the hell they get.
Rocky.
I was
It's
talking
our
about,
You guys are
Okay.
populated.
Your brain
I was talking
dead.
about the three ninjas. You know how there's Tommy, Rocky, Colt. So that's where that came in.
He
from.
missed
That's
it.
where that threw me off. So, the band, Roses and Red. You haven't checked them out? Check them out. They're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, you name it. They're on it. Check them out. And this is the Angels and Outlaws show on the Global Enlightenment Radio Network. And we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you.